Great. Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome. So glad you're here. Welcome to Wellness Wednesday. I'm so glad that you're each here tonight, and I'm so excited to share more about the 30 Days to Healthy Living program. Arbonne is a really special community, so if somebody invited you to be here tonight, I want you to know that that person thinks you're really special. I want to introduce myself. My name is Kate Stone. I'm coming to you from my guest bedroom / office in Carborough, North Carolina, and I am an independent consultant and district manager with Arbonne, along with being a certified health and life coach, where in that practice I help people feel strong and grounded in their bodies without dieting and deprivation. And I incorporate this 30 Days to Healthy Living program in my coaching services also. It's that powerful. So before we get started tonight, I just wanted to acknowledge everything that's going on in the world right now. It's a really heavy time. We've been through a global pandemic, and we're witnessing racial injustices and violence going on. And when I see all of that going on in the world, I think at times we can feel like, why should I be talking about my health and wellness? Like there's a disconnect here. Is this really important? Does it really make sense? And what I want to say to that is, as a health coach, it's my job to help people and support people live lives where they feel energized, they feel strong, and they feel healthy so that they can do their important work in the world, right? And whatever that work is for you. So it might be taking better care of your family because you have greater energy reserves. It might be standing for injustices that are really important for you. But it's what you're capable of doing when you have that extra energy. And that's how I connect why it's important to talk about health and wellness, even in these really heavy times. So can we just all take like a deep breath, right? Because there's a lot going on. And just take a deep breath and just be here for these next 15 minutes or so. I also want to share with you about Arbonne and what a special company it is. And I'm so grateful to have partnered with Arbonne, especially in this time, because Arbonne is a company that is a force for good, that wants to make a difference. They've been around for 40 years. They were recently certified as a B Corporation, which means they balance people, the planet, and profit all together. And that's really important to me. Other companies that you might have heard of that are also B Corps are Patagonia, Tom's, Ben & Jerry's, Athleta, right? So you get the sense of what those companies are all about. And I'm really proud that Arbonne is in their company. Arbonne also has a really stringent ingredient policy. And I actually just took this right off the website because I think it's so important to know about that I just wanted to read to you exactly Arbonne's language, which is, our highly ethical and quality standards are guided by a stringent ingredient policy that prohibits over 2,000 ingredients, such as PEGs, parabens, and phthalates, and some of the most common allergens. We seek third-party certifications to ensure transparency. So they stand behind a quality product. And just to give a frame of reference, the European Union bans over 1,400 ingredients, while the US bans a few hundred. Arbonne goes above and beyond and prohibits 2,000 in our products. So that means a lot too, that you know things are safe. Pure and beneficial is the slogan. So a little bit about my Arbonne story and how I found Arbonne. I was looking for cleaner, higher quality nutrition products for me and for my family. I also was trying to solve a problem for my health coaching clients, because what I found was it was completely overwhelming to shop for nutrition products. They were spending way too much time shopping in the aisles of Whole Foods or online on Amazon or GNC or wherever they were looking for nutrition products, reading labels. And I just wanted to find a solution that made things simple for them, I knew that I could trust the product, they could trust the product, and that was done so we could get into the other work together. And so I started using the Arbonne products, but then what really sold me on things was the 30 Days to Healthy Living program. I was like, this is just amazing, this nutritional reset program. And let me tell you, I'm a skeptic and I'm doubtful because I have this health coach brain also. And so when I hear words like detox or cleanse, I'm like, I got to do my research about this, because I know short-term fixes like that don't create long-lasting health results, right? There are no quick fixes. And so I wanted to know everything about this program, and I have done it myself to experience it myself. But I started using some of the products like the detox tea, the fizz sticks, and I'm like, I really like these. Like, this is good. Let me try the whole thing. And I think about the 30 Days to Healthy Living program as like the whole birthday cake. So if you think about the birthday cake, you want everything in the birthday cake, right? But when you break it down to its elements, it's like you have the cake, you have the frosting, you have the pretty like frosting roses on top that everybody fights over. And you could take those three elements separately, but what you really want is like the whole thing together. And for me, the 30 Days to Healthy Living program is the like pinnacle experience of Arbonne. Yes, you can use these things separately and they're amazing, but using them all together is like the ultimate experience of Arbonne, which is why I'm so excited to share about it with you tonight. So the 30 Days to Healthy Living program is great for people who are looking to improve their health habits. Maybe you're struggling with digestive stress, indigestion, reflux, different things. Maybe you're looking to have more energy or have better gut health. Those are all reasons you might try this. But really, ultimately, what it does is it refocuses you on living and eating very consciously, which is just a beautiful thing. So before I tell you a little bit about my like personal experience with the 30 days, I want to ask you guys two questions, and you can put your answers if you want in the comments. But two questions. First, just think about right now, what is your number one health goal? What's the number one? Frequently we have a lot, but like, what's at the top of the list right now? And then how could you make small daily changes to get closer to that health goal? I would love to know. So my story with the 30 Days to Healthy Living is that it helped me kick my coffee habit and have a greater understanding of what foods serve my unique body. So I have not had morning coffee in over a year and a half. And you guys, my husband is like a coffee connoisseur. I mean, he gets specially brewed beans delivered to our house. We have a cappuccino machine. He used to make me a homemade almond milk latte every morning, like coffee obsession to the max, right? This is who I'm married to. And so I decided to kick my coffee habit through this nutritional reset, and I substituted it for what we call a tizzy, which is the detox tea plus a fizz stick in the morning. And I'm like, you know what? Let's just do this experiment for 30 days. Let's see how I feel after 30 days, no coffee. What's it going to be like, right? And what I experienced after 30 days is that I had more balanced energy. I was off the like roller coaster up and down all the time. I didn't get that jittery feeling in my fingers. Do you know what I mean? When you're like, feel really productive, but also kind of jittery after drinking too much coffee. And then also what I witness as a health coach is so many people are masking their true appetite through overdoing caffeine. So what I mean by that is instead of reaching for high quality nutrition, people are reaching for that next Starbucks, right? So the day looks like a coffee in the morning, another coffee in the afternoon, maybe one at lunch too. And then we're so jacked up at the end of the day that we need some wine to calm down, right? But where in that cycle is like the real nutrition that fuels our body, right? So think about your relationship with caffeine. The other thing that really was like a light bulb moment for me with was dairy and gluten. So since I was a teenager, I thought that I was lactose intolerant. I would get bad like bloating, gas, like yeah, it was not pleasant. And what I realized after the 30 days and re-entering some of these foods is that I'm actually more sensitive to gluten than I am to dairy. But my aha was that I had never separated the two, right? I always ate them together. It was pizza, it was cheese and crackers. And so I always blamed my digestive stress on the dairy, but it was really the gluten. So like, that's a lesson that I can take with me for the rest of my life, that I know I'm more sensitive to and how my body reacts each food, each individual food. So that was a lot of information. And then the third big change from the 30 days to healthy living was that I've incorporated more plant-based recipes into my diet. So I still eat meat, but I don't eat as much. And again, my husband, like, a meal is not a meal unless it has a piece of meat on the plate for my husband. So we've started eating more plant-based. And one of the things I love about the 30 days to healthy living is that there's a vegan option, a vegetarian option, but you can also incorporate meat. So there's flexibility there within the food plan, which I really like. So the question, why 30 days? Because people will be resistant to the 30 days. They're like, that's too long. That's a lot. I have parties to go to. I have places to go. Like, do I really have to do this for 30 days? And again, like back to the birthday cake, if you want like the full experience, do the 30 days. Frequently people try new things for a few days. They don't feel dramatically different. And then they quit and say that doesn't work. And so the 30 days gives us time to really make changes. It's also a program that's focused on creating new habits, simple daily habits that create a lifetime of change. It's also a program that's focused on improving gut health. So that also takes time. So that's part of the reason of why 30 days. Just a little testimony from one of my clients who did the 30 days to healthy living. She was in week 2 and she called me and she's like, Kate, this is the most simple, sustainable way of eating I've ever experienced. I have no cravings. I don't feel deprived, and I can see myself eating like this for the rest of my life. And that was in week 2. And I just thought, well, there it is, right? Like, that's the testimony. I'm like, that's the result everybody's looking for. So I loved that she saw the longevity of the program beyond the 30 days, that it was truly a lifestyle change and sustainable too. It didn't feel like work, even in the second week for her. So I know people always want to know like the nitty gritty, like what do I do? What can I eat? What's it look like? So let me break it down to 3 things, places where we focus in the 30 days. First, focusing on the abundance of food that you can eat, right? So that's lean proteins, animal and plant-based, leafy greens, vegetables, healthy fats, nuts, seeds, and low glycemic carbohydrates like brown rice, sweet potatoes, and quinoa. Then we do eliminate foods that frequently cause people cravings and also inflammation. Things like gluten, dairy, sugar, soy, artificial sweeteners, coffee. And then the third thing is eating every 4 to 6 hours. So this isn't a diet. It's not about counting calories. It's not about depriving or starving yourself. It's about fueling yourself in the healthiest way. And so we eat every 4 to 6 hours and get in touch with our true appetite. And so if you're dedicated to those 30 days, you leave knowing what works for you. You leave knowing what serves your unique body, which is just a great lesson to know. So give yourself the gift of this reset, right? Of giving yourself this like pause, a time for self-reflection and self-care. It's really about, for 30 days, just pressing pause on the habits that don't serve you. So a couple more questions for you guys before we wrap up. I'd love for you to reflect on what isn't working for you currently in your daily habits. That could be like the coffee up and down, could be inconsistent energy levels, bloating, digestive stress, but what isn't working for you right now? What habits do you need to let go of? And then finally, thinking about if you keep doing what you're currently doing in your health, where will that lead you 5 years from now? Because sometimes those bad habits don't seem that bad in the day, but it's the repetition over time that makes a huge impact in our health. And it can also make a huge impact in our wellness and our well-being. So, and I also want to let you know that you're totally worth the time and you're worth the investment. I know that it can seem like, oh, I can't, I don't have time, I don't have money, I don't have energy, right? Those are all our excuses. And I want you to know that you're here tonight listening about this for a very special reason, and you're totally worth the investment. So what do you get with the 30 Days to Healthy Living? You can see some of the products behind me on the bed. And the person who invited you tonight can absolutely answer like very specific product questions, but there's a delicious vegan protein powder, pro and prebiotics, a fiber boost, a body cleanse, my favorite fizz sticks and detox tea that I can't live without, greens balance. So you get those products, but you also get an amazing guide that has recipes and walks you through the entire program. It even has shopping lists in it, different plans for each week. And then my favorite part of our Arbonne team is you get access to this private Facebook community that is engaged and supportive and doing this journey with you, so you don't have to do it alone. So that's part of the whole 30 Days to Healthy Living package. So as we wrap up tonight, I'd love to ask you just one more question, and you're going to answer this just with a 1, 2, or a 3. And I'd love for you to text or message the person who invited you tonight your answer, 1, 2, or 3. So if you're a 1, you're like, sign me up, let's do this 30 days, like I'm so ready. That's a 1. Number 2 would be, I'm interested, but I have questions, like, can we talk? That would be a 2. And then 3 would be, I'm nervous. Like I'm concerned that I can't follow through. I've done plans like this before and I don't follow through. But maybe I'm curious about a little refresh, right? Like substituting afternoon coffee for a detox tea and a fizz stick, or starting my morning with a vegan protein powder. That would be a 3 to text to your friend. So back to the first questions that I asked you. This is your invitation to start, right? What's your number 1 health goal? And how can you take small daily steps to that goal? And I can tell you the 30 Days to Healthy Living program is such an amazing program that I'm sure it can meet your individual health goals because it's so impactful. It's a great way to take one big step towards your health. So I just want to thank all of you guys for joining tonight. So good to see your faces and to connect. Be well, stay well, friends, and thanks. Thanks for joining.